special things.
Not a special movie?
Yeah.
So is it just not enough like your life, or just...
Like a similar routine life.
Mm-hmm.
As actors, as a routine life. So, and I also have routine life.
Sure.
Yeah, so.
it was too similar. Too similar to real life?
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin. Yeah, Big Brother. Big Brother is watching a young man said, let me steal this guy. Don't sweat it. This is just to see how the Watch and Talk classes run. Nothing to do with your guys'... Oh. Hey. Okay, so didn't really impress.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, Jin, your thoughts? 8.5. And remember, so any specific reason why?
We forgot small things in our daily life, but that maybe the core small thing about my daily life, so friends and small thing to talk anything. So I saw that movie today in the morning.
Okay.
That's very impressive. The sentence and our relationship with other patients and monk in the
Yeah.
so higher, so very impressive.
Good. Yeah, it was definitely, the movie had some fantastic quotes. Quotes especially about our whole goal and topic of happiness. Some really interesting stuff to talk about. And I also enjoyed his relationship with the monk. I thought that was great when they Skyped at the end. Good. All right, Nomin? 8. All right. Anything to add?
I think it gives a message interestingly.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed it.
Good. Gives a good message.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Jisa?
I want to be 7.
7? Just like me.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I like the message of the movie, but I think some story was odd a little bit.
Definitely.
What can I say? It's not happen often when I travel.
Too unrealistic.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit hard to focus on a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hard to believe.
Yeah, in some way.
Yeah.
Dramatic.
Yeah, he got kidnapped. That's kind of not a really often, not a common thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Kevin?
I leave 8.7.
8 points. I love your specific.
Yeah. I think 8 much higher than 8.5 and but lower than 9. So I like to give 8.7.
So you can say like I can't give it a 9.
Yeah.
More than 8. No, I love it. All right.
So while I'm watch this movie, I can remind what is real happiness, and
So you can say I can be reminded.
yeah, be reminded,
Mm-hmm.
and also think about my personal relationship with my friends and my families,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really heartwarming to me.
Heartwarming for me. Yeah.
For me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, these are pretty good averages. Pretty good. Sam?
I think I gave it 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, generally I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned before, if I were his girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
I would not marry him.
Yeah, screw that guy. He's not a good guy.
But he was like so nice as a
Psychiatrist.
psychiatrist.
Yes.
And as a human being, he was so nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like him as a man, a guy.
And you said you read the book, right?
Oh yes.
Did that same situation happen in the book with Ying Li?
It's quite a long time ago. I don't remember exactly, but there was in me. But I don't think it's like same situation. And they didn't marry anymore.
At the end?
Oh.
Oh, wow. So very different than the movie.
I don't know, just I think they make it funnier and lighter.
Cool. More lighthearted.
Lighthearted.
Lighthearted. Excellent. You also in your Kakao chat you used this word, a shrink. Have you ever heard of this before? This is kind of a casual noun to refer to a psychiatrist, a shrink, a head doctor, a shrink, a psychiatrist. So if you don't want to keep throwing around the word psychiatrist, you can use a shrink.
Easier.
Much easier. All right. And Matt?
8.7.
8.7. All right. I like again this specificity.
Because 8.5 is kind of from 8 to 8.5 B,
Mhm.
from 8.5 to 9 B plus.
Okay. So B plus. B plus. Awesome.
I rated like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like the movie.
Yeah.
And he traveled a lot, right?
He
Traveled a lot.
traveled a
So-
whole lot.
A whole lot, but I traveled a lot as well.
Cool.
So I went to Europe, Africa, and China, and this.
I didn't know you went to Africa.
I went to
That's awesome. That's
yes,
so cool.
Egypt.
Egypt. Okay.
Yes, yes, which is different from where he went.
Mm-hmm. Did they ever say exactly what African country he went to?
Bogota?
Bogota?
When he gave a note to a drug dealer, he said a shrink, psychiatrist,
Psychiatrist. The shrink.
psychiatrist, yeah,
Uh-huh.
is in Bogota?
Another city, Bogota.
Bogota, so it is kind of clue where he went.
Good point.
So I don't know where it is.
Awesome. All right, I think this is a great average. Sorry, Karen, you're the lowest vote, but that's okay. But all of us, well above, except for Karen, all of us well above the internet average. The website IMDb gave it a 6.9. So we appreciated this a little bit more on average, which is great. And Watch and Talk class number 3 has voted for next week's movie, and we will be watching an action science fiction movie, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Season 1 or 2?
It's just a movie. Yep. And it's in case you didn't know, it's related to the Marvel Avengers franchise. So it's actually it'll be great for a Watch and Talk because there's a character in it who doesn't understand idiomatic language. He doesn't understand idioms. So remember when we watched King's Speech, we talked about having a lot of guts. So guts are your insides, but it also means that you're brave. So if you said to him, like, you have a lot of guts, he'd be like, no, I have the normal amount of intestines. Like, he just doesn't understand idioms, so I think you guys will like it. All right. As always, here's our packet. The last 3 students who came in, you guys might have missed it. We have a camera recording. It's only really worried about sound and the board. It's not videoing you. So it's pointed right at you, but it's just going to one guy up at headquarters, and he wants to just see how I teach Watch and Talk. So it's not evaluating you at all. Please don't be embarrassed. If it bothers you, I'll point it at the wall. So All right, so as always, here's our packet that we're going to be working on for the next 3 classes. Back page, I have the cast list that you can always refer back to if you need to talk about any characters. Okay, so to jump back to some questions from our Kakao chat. So Soyeon, you were curious about Hector's behavior.
Yes. Is it normal?
Is it normal? No.
No?
I saw that and I was like, don't think that. That's not normal. Not normal. Did anybody else have any opinions about that? How he, like you said, the first night of his journey, he cheated on his girlfriend. It's kind of. Did anybody have any opinions about that, or did it shock anybody?
Well, nothing happened.
Nothing happened. But he wanted something to happen. You're all right. You're all right. Nothing technically bad happened, but I think Clara would still not be okay with what did happen. You could argue, though, and we're going to watch this scene eventually, that Clara, when she was saying goodbye, she did say, "I give you permission to do anything." Do you remember that scene? Clara, and maybe that's included, but I really hope it's not. But when I was talking about, just to give my small opinion, it bothered me how little he appreciated her from the beginning. You know, she made him breakfast and lunch every day.
Yeah.
She packed his lunch. She tied his tie.
Yeah.
She did everything for him, and he just didn't appreciate it. So he bothered me a little.
And when I watched very beginning of the movie, I felt that Clara loves more than the Hector, I think.
Yeah, or loves Hector more
Yeah.
than he loves her.
Yeah.
Like mom, she cared of him like mom, so
Yeah.
maybe he felt a little bit it's too much.
Mm-hmm. And that's he even uses that word later, to be smothered. To be smothered is when you can't breathe. Like if you get covered with blankets and you can't breathe with blankets over your face, you are smothered. And we'll talk about this later when we get to that scene, but you can definitely define, you can say a relationship is smothering, or somebody is smothering you if they're too close. All right, the boyfriend or girlfriend who sends you 500 Kakao messages a day, they might be smothering you. And so maybe he felt smothered. Okay. And definitely there's that discussion later, and he says smothering is mothering with an S. And it's a very clever statement because those are two very different words. Mothering is what mothers do, but also smothering is another. Very similar. All right. Any other opinions, expressions, anything that we want to get off our chest? That we want to mention? All right. I outlined 3 big topics that we'll talk about in this movie: happiness, relationships, and then tragic memories. And tragic memories can kind of be related back to King's speech too, how Bertie had so many bad memories as a child, and it affected him in his adult life. Did anybody put together the tragic memory that Hector lives with? They never mention it specifically, but it shows up throughout the movie.
He broke up with.
Okay, a past breakup. Well, what about even younger? When do we see him as a child?
You know, wedding scene, I think we saw a child.
Mm-hmm.
It was him.
It was him, yeah. He was watching that wedding, but his dog. There's a lot in the movie that plays with this idea that he had a dog that he loved and he lost it. All right, we see this even in the scene before the movie even really starts, in the opening credits. What happens to the dog? Yeah, it's kind of funny how it happened, but the dog fell out, and so that shows like loss of this dog at a young age. So, opening credits, lost his dog. So, all right. Well, let's get going. Let's get ourselves chatting a little bit more. So, as always, the general questions. Okay, ask any of these 1 through 13 to your partner or partners, and just to get ourselves chatting. Okay, let's do a group of 3 in the back, and then 2 and 2.
Okay, so you guys, what makes you guys happy?
Everyone traveled first class.
I think watching interesting TV programs.
Long time in the morning. It's like a film.
You
I
like
never watched
TV?
that. It's really big.
What program?
Sometimes
It's Korean.
I would
Okay.
like a choice.
We don't know.
Time. I also like
Is it like a competition show?
The ball?
because look
What's
her
the-
back
A cheese.
Cheese?
Yeah, the ball. When but about anything like when I was a student, the study plan, and
Doing
when I was an adult, maybe
It depends
Oh, really?
on place or time.
wake up early or
doing
doing exercise every day or something like those kind of very small things that I make as a plan.
Okay.
And when
So
I
are
achieve
they sports that
those
the
kind of
celebrities
plans,
are
I'm
good
very
at?
happy and we working
Not good. Oh, cool. So they're really bad at it.
and also
It sounds fun.
when I earn some money
Well,
and when I see my accounts, oh, money is come.
Money cannot give you happiness.
I know, but when I saw my account and if there's some money in my account, not too long time, but short time,
That's what I did on
I'm
Sunday.
happy.
I went,
Kind of, you know,
on Sunday I went
relax.
to Tadako Beach and saw an art exhibit.
Yeah.
For me,
It was really nice. And then on the way home we stopped at Nampo and ate kappa sushi, unlimited
all
sushi.
together, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Happiness means having,
We
to not have something to be worried about.
Yeah.
Happiness for others.
Yeah.
I do not want something to bother me. If there's something to bother me, I just solve the problems
But I have
so that
traveled.
I can be relaxed and happy.
did many things,
Yeah, it is,
Doing all
but
other things.
it's not by intention.
especially
Some
So,
transportation.
I think happiness is not related with money.
Money, if you say money can give you just a short
You,
time of
you can use this phrasal verb
cannot
then.
be
You were bumped up.
very short, very shallow.
Yeah, I was upgraded or bumped up to, and then you can say to business class. Congratulations.
Because the people who have money, how do you think they are happy?
Yeah. But the important thing is that money is really essential when we live around the world. You know, when we meet friends and we do something like TV or work or buy something, always money is required.
It's just minimum.
Yeah.
No money,
Yeah.
because it is difficult to define now. But you know, you do not need to speak much. You do not need to try to
And yesterday I choose
give us
famous studies.
kind of but
New York.
after
and
that,
happiness.
Yeah.
I didn't
Money
choose
can
anything.
also give pressure, not only happiness.
It's
Yeah.
chosen for you.
For the money,
Yeah.
you need to seek for. So when I go there, and I
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
expect that money.
Mhm.
5만 원.
Because my
Mhm. But do you, when you travel, do
I
you
only
look like a
take
tourist?
economy class. So
Big
I don't know
backpack,
No.
travel
what
hat.
is the difference.
He really looked like a tourist.
Yeah.
Have you ever traveled in first class?
I heard that it's kind
Business
of
class, I travel.
Yeah, me too.
It's like any
Yes.
local
First class really, really expensive. Really expensive.
How much is it?
excellent.
No,
Yeah, more likely to get
Yeah.
crime.
Business class is double than economy
try to
class.
blend in.
First class is double than business class. I heard that. Maybe double
I
or triple.
only bring
I heard.
Where's
what
is
country.
Full time.
Yeah.
Not backpack and.
So
If
if
you
economy class,
take
economy seats,
last time
very comfortable with
10,000. Maybe first class is maybe
Mhm.
what airline
on
do
the
you
world
like?
40,000.
Good. Yeah, I do the same thing. When, except I keep this little
But if
security
I have a chance
It was
to
like a little hidden pocket.
I
Inside my shirt.
really want to
You have one of
take
those?
some experience about standing
When I first
time.
came to teach
My
here,
airplane time.
my manager needed,
In the
I had
first
to pay her money for the medical test that I needed to take. And she saw me
If
take
you
that out,
if you
and she laughed. She's like, you don't need that in
first class
Korea.
in the airplane, you can take very delicious
It was my
food
first day, so I
and
didn't-
very
I heard that
comfortable seats.
Korean airline
And
service is
I
very
was
good.
in conservative
Mhm.
because there are many
what?
it's not the system. People say it's good, but for me, it's
Yeah.
also not.
Beggars.
I heard yes, depends
And,
on the
Chinese
airplane company. Depends on the your final destination.
Cheaper than Korean.
Usually, I heard that first class
Yeah, it's
food
super
is little bit
Do you have
delicious,
anything
more
like that?
delicious than other seats.
Has to be
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
cross bag.
prospect for
Consider yourself a lucky person.
when I travel Philippines.
Yeah, I think so.
Some security
Because I have
kid,
very
young kids ask,
awesome and
give me a
very
money.
kindness parents I have. And also, I have very
Didn't bring anything.
very good friends who have really
That's
good
why I was
personalities and characteristics and very kindness
It's
to me.
better for my safety.
So I'm really happy and
In
lucky
China
person.
too.
Yeah, China is mine as well.
And my parents.
I am here.
Why?
Why do you envy?
His parents is awfully kindness.
Yeah.
Your?
Yeah.
They are affirming. They're
Yes. I
Did you
usually
say awesome?
use Skype.
Yeah. Awesome.
Awesome.
And very kindness to me.
very kind to me.
Yeah, very
As
kind.
my friend
And also, my parents
English.
always support me using their money. There's not limitation about supporting
Are you the
me.
only child?
No.
How many siblings do you have?
I have one older brother. It's really it's very very thankful to me to my parents.
Yeah. You're gonna have to pay those parents back forever.
And also, my parents always said that don't get pressure from your getting job or
Wow.
studying.
Then how old are you?
I'm 25. Just my parents always said that don't get stressed from money. Just be happy.
I'm very bad at
To search for happiness, that's pretty.
That's not normal.
I don't think it's normal. It's
Yeah, so, yeah. That's why I'm a very lucky person in the world. It's really thank you. I'm
Okay,
always
I'm gonna have to turn the page and I look at Hector's first
When
rule of
I do
happiness,
something,
making
I get easily
making
bored.
comparisons can spoil your happiness. So I can't compare my parents to your parents, otherwise I might be unhappy.
Yeah, learning, studying,
Yeah, I think it was really powerful for his very first rule of happiness.
Yeah.
When he's sitting next to the millionaire on the plane.
How about you?
When people are suffering because of these things,
Yeah.
they always try to compare
I
them
really want to
themselves
something.
with other things, other people.
Yeah.
Recently, research results, the Korean people are less happier than OECD country members.
Mhm.
A few days ago, it was released, the results. I'm not sure. But 7 from the bottom, 6 from the bottom.
So I think seventh from the bottom.
Yeah.
What is
that?
interesting?
Yeah, and just like the professor said in the movie, everything's going up except happiness in the world. So, all right, I'm gonna change you guys, change the topic. So, number 6, has a girlfriend or boyfriend ever been jealous of your past partners? Like, did they stalk you on Facebook? And
The lady first.
Are you either friends?
We have time
I think
for
it's kind of-
later. It is possible to go.
kind of taboo. You should not tell your ex-boyfriend or boyfriend.
About-
about your present Even if they trying to say to talk.
yeah, even if they want to find out. But what if it's unavoidable? What if they know the previous relationship?
I
See a picture on Facebook or Kakao Talk or something.
The only person I know from dancing is
I should focus on his present.
Yeah.
Leave the past in the past and
Yeah.
move on.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it will my generation.
It'll ruin it. How about, alright, so the lady rent, now gentlemen.
I always delete the pictures or videos that took with my ex-girlfriend. So I never heard some jealous words or bad words from the girlfriend. But when I drunk, sometimes
things
I
that I
took a phone call to ex-girlfriend. Whenever
not for
even my now girlfriend is still on in front of my steez. But it's
He's a friend with an ex. That's a dangerous situation.
But it's my first and the last experience in my life, so I never did one more time. But when I did those kind of behavior, my girlfriend is really angry and he tried to not kill, but he tried to pour the water to my face.
Throw water in your face. And Matt, anything similar? Or?
I do not talk about my past that often.
Mhm.
My ex-girlfriend asked me about my ex-girlfriend, right? But I say she was good, nice. That's it. I
That was
did
it?
not, I did not say something detailed
Good.
because I didn't think I need to.
Mhm.
It's okay.
Keep it private. Keep it short.
Every single person needs to have a private life.
Mhm.
Even though partner,
I saw that
partner,
in the
or husband,
I usually go.
not that secret, not small thing, personal freedom to do
I
something
don't have
So I
private.
think it is
Right.
Things.
a little
Mhm.
Yeah, one of my
little
friends,
bit
she married to a man in a office.
Okay.
She told me that she sometimes wanted to have time to do something alone,
Time to herself.
time to herself, because always her husband wanted her to do something all together, stay together, do something together,
He was smothering her.
something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So asked her, why don't you tell him about you? Like, I need to do something I have to be alone. I need time to be alone, calm, read books, something like calming or something. She didn't.
Make me
It's a problem.
more
Good, yeah.
interesting.
Alright, you guys doing great. Keep it up.
I don't care about my ex-girlfriends. Not ex-girlfriend. I don't care about my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend.
We understand
So, you know, because
that history.
even though my girlfriend's ex-boyfriends did a very good job to my girlfriends, but all people has different personality and different characteristics. So just ex-boyfriend, and now it's not. So I don't care about.
I'm not
long
born
history.
in Syria. I'm not born in Syria.
He's an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Born in Syria.
Women are very curious
You know,
about.
I was curious why they broke up. I mean, because it seems like he was kind of like
no, I have a relation.
transferred to me.
Quite expensive.
Like it's kind of vague,
Hotel
curious.
is very expensive.
I
But
mean, do you know? I think I mean, there's such a short time to break up and start to meet another girl.
Yeah. I know.
Yesterday break up, today another girl, like something like that.
why do you think
It's
it's possible to?
But not all men, you know. Not all
I-
men. It's a very rare case, isn't it?
Really.
Not too rare. Not too rare.
All right, let's take just one more minute to close up your conversations, and then we'll all come together.
You're me. Not many, but some friends
We're winding down
like
slowly,
your.
I just said like one more minute to finish your conversation, whatever you were saying.
Which was
So
the
very interesting.
It was nice.
junior, and I was in the middle.
Did you guys ever, which questions did you do?
Friends, so his ex.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Are you guys
a
looking?
friend trying to look at me like it was not.
You were born in Korea, which is very lucky.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were together before I found that. So I already checked when.
Very lucky.
Have you been single?
So they're looking at your notes. There's a Korean word for being smothered.
Say something like 3
Being
years.
smothered. Korean word.
I mean, I need to check before meeting someone.
Good. All right. Awesome conversations, you guys. You're doing great, keeping the conversation going, asking follow-up questions. Just so some of the things that came up in the different conversations, bumped up. You see that one in question 7? Okay, this is the same thing as to be upgraded on an airplane. So Ji-sun, her seat was double booked. Double booked means 2 passengers had the same ticket. Exactly what happened to Hector, right? And then you were bumped up to, so you bumped up, and then you do the preposition to, and then whatever class. So you were bumped up to business. Just like Hector. He was bumped up to business class, and he irritated, he made angry Edward. And Edward kept asking the flight attendant, are you sure there's no seats in first class? Because he wanted to go escape. So great. We're also talking about, what makes you happy, what brings you happiness. Eating delicious food. If you say something like savoring a steak, to savor something is to really enjoy the flavor. Like when you buy a steak and you cut one bite, put that in your mouth and you chew it slowly, you're savoring it, you're enjoying it with time. All right. We were talking about traveling like a tourist, okay? Sticking out, like Hector looked. Big hat, the scarf, the giant backpack. He looked like a tourist when he unfolded the map.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about safety and how it kind of makes you a target. And you target of pickpockets and also beggars. There's people asking for money or. All right. Kevin. Kevin said, "Oh, I always delete all my pictures of my ex-girlfriends to not have them present girlfriends be jealous." Question 6. But he said sometimes he gets a little drunk and then calls or texts. Let's call it to drunk dial. To drunk dial is when you the same time when you shouldn't drive, you also shouldn't be able to make phone calls. So if you ever call somebody and you are intoxicated, we call that a drunk dial. Try not to do that.
Yeah.
And then we were also talking about what people might say if they're in a smothering relationship. You could say I need time for myself, I need time to myself, or I need space. And that's when you just need to be separate from that other person and just all right, not bad. So maybe Hector felt this. Maybe he needed some time for himself to travel the world and discover what happiness is. All right, cool. All right. Any questions on how to use these words in your sentences? Okay. Any questions about general questions 1 through 13? All right, cool.
What is the meaning of torture?
Torture.
Number 10.
Where do I have it?
Number 10.
Number 10. Yeah, torture, like inflicting pain on somebody for information. Like the U.S. government got in trouble for torture a few years ago. Torturing people. You heard of Guantanamo Bay?
Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah. So if you torture people to get information, but Hector said, and I'm kind of quoting the movie, he said he feels that dancing is torture. He hates it. He finds it very uncomfortable and painful.
It's a violent something.
Yeah, committing violence against somebody to pull information out from them. So he's making just an analogy. He's saying that dancing is like torture. So my question: do you like to dance, or do you think it is torture? Do you hate every second of it? Any dancers in here? Matt?
I used to like dancing. But
Really? Cool.
just do dancing.
All right, good. Okay, so I have the general vocabulary section, but we can come back to that. What I want to do, let's just do a couple of these general movie questions, these big ones to talk about with everybody. So do you remember how they said he deals with his patients?
Careful listening.
He's a good listener.
Good listeners.
Good listener. What does he have? He has blank for his patients. It's kind of a funny sentence.
Question? With a question?
Oh, yeah, he answers questions with questions. Okay, but he also I like he has lots of patience for his patients. It's a very clever sentence. And see, he waits. I see. And then always, like you said, answer questions with questions. How do they ever see each other?
No.
No.
Different door.
Yeah.
Coming and out.
Right. Yeah, and it's all remote controlled.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. All right. Does Hector have any friends?
Yeah. Yeah. Or friends.
Who fly the plane
People who fly the planes.
on the beside the river?
Are those his friends? Yeah, the model airplane club. We call those RC for remote controlled. So RC airplanes. All right. RC airplanes? Do you think those are his friends?
I think during the travel, he made the friends
Mm-hmm.
like Diego. What's his name? Diego Barasco.
The drug cartel lord? Uh-huh. You did?
Yeah.
You're right. Became friends. And the old monk, made friends with the old monk. But, so I like, we brought up the RC airplane club. Right? They all meet next to the river, fly their planes. They friends?
Kind of friends.
They did get into that big fight.
Yeah.
I liked that scene. It's great. All right. So number 3, this is kind of an interesting. He said when he's explaining his problem to Clara, he calls himself an armchair traveler, dishing out. To dish something out means to give out, to give something. Dishing out worldly advice. Can we put that together? What that might mean?
He's a kind of hypocrite.
Hypocrite.
A hypocrite.
Hypocrite. Yeah, absolutely. This sentence means hypocrite. An armchair traveler means, think an armchair, like your sofa, but just for one person. Armchair traveling. He doesn't really travel. He just sits.
He's listening to other people's experience talking, and he's sitting on an armchair and giving advice to them. Right?
Yeah, giving worldly advice. You know, oh, this is what you should do. You know, so he's saying he's giving out wisdom, but he doesn't have it. So he's expressing that he feels a little guilty, and that he's being a little bit of a hypocrite. Great. Okay. Who wants to explain the story of Yingli? Delicate story. I mean her story, her life. Who is she? What does she do? Alright, where is she from? Yingli.
She's from
Okay.
countryside.
Yingli is from the Chinese countryside. Okay. And what is her profession?
Prostitute.
Yes. So is she a tourism major student? It's just her story. Yeah.
Maybe she has 2 jobs.
Maybe. We can hope. We can hope that her story. We can hope that her story is not so sad.
Daytime job and nighttime job.
Oh. Yeah. Pretty tragic. It's pretty sad. And how did her and Hector have their night together?
Edward paid.
Yeah, Edward paid that guy that she rode away with on the motorcycle. Pretty sad. Okay. Any other points to make with Yingli? Because I wrote when I was putting together the movie clip reviews, I realized I kind of skipped past most of her scenes, so I wanted to make sure that she gets some mention in class. And then lastly, discuss people who are afraid of death are also afraid of life. Who said this? Oh.
I'm not sure, but maybe professor?
Not the professor. Who is the closest to death in this movie?
The woman in the plane who had brain surgery.
Yeah. And she said this to him when she was giving him great compliments about listening is loving.
Yes.
But she also said this, people who are afraid of death are also afraid of life. What does that mean?
Life includes with the death, we have to get used to the death.
Yeah, we have to get used to, maybe say, the idea of death. You can't have life without death, and to fear the one is to fear them both. Cool. All right, you guys are awesome. Okay, so we're going to pause there, take our 10 minutes, and on the next page I made kind of another fun conversational activity, but I think we should save this for the next class, because we should probably, after break, jump to some actual MCRs. So, all right, pause here. I'm going to turn off the camera and then find out if they need it on the second hour.